Do not use derogatory terms such as insane, crazy or crazed, nuts, or deranged, unless they are part of the quotation that is essential to the story. Avoid using mental health terms to describe unrelated issues. Don't say that an awards show, for example, was schizophrenic.
That's nuts. I just want to remind you that this is the same AP that also is capitalizing the word black, but not capitalizing the word white. Yes, in the name of justice, because that's going to bring about so much change. Welcome to Tazz Education. Welcome to another SJW episode. And as always on these episodes, if you cringe, you win. Because you know that none of this behavior, none of this stuff, none of this from the media, this is our media. This is the media that is informing the public. None of this helps anything. It doesn't help anyone. It actually causes a further divide. That's all it does. So if you cringe, you win. Also see these episodes as more of a history, a detailing of what is happening today. So if you are watching this years from now, hopefully years from now, if this channel is still around, this is really happening. This is the world we live in. This 1984 style censorship, this shaming into censoring, this left-wing fascism, this social justice fascism.
Don't use those words. Do what we say. Put the pronouns in your bio. You do this for justice, okay?
And before we get into the rest of today's video, as always, please support this channel by subscribing and clicking the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. If you cringe, you win. Go. Lady Mandalorians have boob armor? Oh, come on, seriously? Well, I mean, if you have boobs, you're gonna have boob armor, so I don't see the problem with that. It's basic biology. Follow the science. Come on. Oh, come on, seriously. McDonald's accused of cultural appropriation over new jerk chicken sandwich. You know what disgusts me even more so than this? How come we haven't had cries of this over French fries, over pizza, over sushi, okay? That's what disgusts me more than anything. Now we're just diving into cultural appropriation with jerk chicken. This should have happened a long time ago. The greatest black man to ever live. I just want to fact check that. That's not true. But I also want to point out the fact that you're paying homage to old George Floyd here. And you have the biggest piece of crap shirt ever. Look at this. You got holes in the thing. That's what you think about old George? You think that much about him that you're going to put him on this piece of crap t-shirt. Disgusting. This was my 8th grader's homework assignment tonight. Uniting for Black Lives. What does the phrase, "I can't breathe" reference? Well, if we're looking at the case objectively, he was saying this before the cops even touched him. So the phrase, "I can't breathe" is likely referencing the 3 to 4 times the lethal amount of fentanyl in his blood, among other drugs. That's what "I can't breathe" is referencing. And again, 99.9% of us agree that we probably shouldn't be putting knees on necks as cops, but the chances of that being the thing that actually killed him are very, very low. And that's not what "I can't breathe" is referencing. It's the fluid in his lungs, the 3 to 4 times amount of the fentanyl. So I hope that's what your kid put on the homework. More importantly here, this is what is being taught in our schools. Kind of disgusting. Gender studies professor. Time is racist. It is. It's racist.
Every morning I grab an iced coffee and I talk to the president. You didn't fucking lose because of voter fraud. You lost because of black women, Latinx women, indigenous women. They all did voter drives. They got millions of people that never cared about politics in their entire fucking life to come out and fucking vote against you. You lost because you're a white supremacist piece of shit. And you're protecting a white supremacist piece of shit right now. Lose like a fucking adult, not a fucking baby. Whew. I never thought I'd be drinking iced coffee after last week, but I'm still drinking iced coffee.
110% completely normal behavior. That's just, that's amazing stuff there. Amazing stuff, really.
Junk food does not exist. Food is food. The use of this language is generally to police fat people, but fat people have existed before that language and will exist after it's long gone. Food is food. You need fats and carbohydrates too. Food is not really healthy or unhealthy. It's food. Railing against junk food or unhealthy food is hella anti-black, classist, and anti-fat. Food is MFing good. Food provides nutrients. Food is good. So many people have such horrific relationships with food because diet culture teaches us to. Imagine that everything you thought you knew about food was taught on a white supremacist, capitalistic, anti-black foundation because it was.
Now you can't even talk about food being unhealthy. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, you shouldn't be eating candy bars. You shouldn't be eating boxes of mac and cheese, drinking beers, drinking sodas, because that is bad for your health. Being overweight is not healthy. It's not good for your organs. We know this. But hey, whoa. I'm sorry. I was borderline being bigoted there by stating scientific facts. I'm sorry. Do you see the issue? 2020 election if only men voted. 2020 election if only women voted. There you go. Do you see the issue? Do you see it? Kids are cute, but they're not really eco-friendly. One less baby helps the planet more than giving up meat and car. Having less kids for climate justice. Don't have a family, guys. Don't, okay? Don't. Oregon strippers of color eligible for federal COVID-19 relief funds because the other strippers don't need it for sure, obviously. Seriously though, what is going on in Oregon? You got this crap, legalizing hard drugs, but at the same time saying you can't have Thanksgiving. What is going on there? And actually there is a movement for the greater part of Oregon to secede and become a part of Idaho, actually. This happens every election. I highly doubt it's going to happen, but people are fed up with it. Our vice president-elect has her pronouns in her bio. What's your excuse? My excuse is that's dumb. That's why. Why? Ugh. Oh, another one, dude. Like, do you really think you're helping? I have to know. Do these people really believe that this is fighting for justice? It's making change. Because it's not. It's making you look really stupid. Some women have penises. If you won't sleep with them, you're transphobic. Welcome to 2020, you bigot. Riots, not diets.
I'm an easygoing fatty looking for someone to destroy capitalism with, and then watch the Fast and the Furious series. It's hard to have your shit together in 2020, but I'm looking for a fellow self-sufficient and empathetic Hufflepuff. But F JK Rowling, I get along with other extroverted introverts, actively trying to make this world a better place. I spent 1 hour in line for the last Popeye's chicken sandwich release, and I'd do it again. How long was your wait time, comrade?
There's no way. There's no way that this is a real profile. This is 100% a troll. Anti-capitalist, talking about Fast and Furious on Tinder, which is here because of capitalism, and also talking about waiting in line for Popeye's chicken for an hour. That's dedication to capitalism. Oh, man. I guess what's more concerning, if this is real, I'm more concerned about seeing who matched with this person. Who thought that this was a good swipe right? That's what I want to know. If anyone was wondering, John Thompson won the general election for Minnesota House 67A. You don't remember that guy? Well, here's just a brief overview of the guy that went into a residential neighborhood and said stuff like this.
Black skin, I'm a black man being terrorized by this fucking Klansman right here. We are terrorized by the Grand Wizard. Y'all got the Grand Wizard living in your goddamn neighborhood. All the Klan exists in Dhiego, Minnesota, and it's right here. Don't run now. Don't run now, racist white people. I'm here. Oh yeah, we pull up. We pull the fuck up. And we're here. Come on over here with your Blue Lives Matter sign. Blue Lives ain't shit. And if people in Hugo don't support black people, fuck Hugo, Minnesota. I meant to say that. Now we can get to what I was talking about.
Good job, Minnesota. Yeah. Good job, Minnesota. I'm glad you're okay with this behavior. White men are the demographic that most deserves to lose the right to vote. And since we were the only ones with the guaranteed right to vote for around 130 years, it only seems fair that we sit out for about a century. That is one of the dumbest ideas that I have ever heard. punishing these generations for the sins of generations prior. Not to mention that this Constitution that we have, this great Constitution that we have, is so good that it has enabled changes in the Constitution and made things better for everyone. Nowhere else in the world. We have led the world by ending slavery, giving the right to vote to everyone. That's what America has done. That's something we should all be proud of. But don't acknowledge that. Just acknowledge the bad stuff and punish today's generations for it. Obviously.
The term legal vote is as fictionally fraught and functionally racist as the terms illegal alien and race neutral and welfare queen and handouts and super predator and crack baby and personal responsibility and post-racial.
Personal responsibility? I'm losing hope. I'm losing hope, guys. There's my Biden son. I support you. Literally getting their head bitten off by the behavior that they have promoted and enabled. You love to see it. We need to talk a lot less about red and blue. We need to talk a lot more about whiteness. Blue check marks, doing God's work. Doing God's work. Florida's governor drafts laws that would allow people to shoot looters.
Might be the most reckless, racist piece of legislation in quite some time. Makes it lawful to kill a looter for property crimes. Penalties for violent and disorderly assemblies. Blocking traffic becomes felony immunity for drivers who hit protesters with cars.
What are you implying here, guy? That only minorities loot? Is that what you're saying? That might actually be racist. You know, if we're talking about the term racism, and you're profiling and saying that the only people that would be shot over this law are minorities because that's what you think about them, it's kind of racist. It's not enough to just save our economy. We need to build a system that gives all people, including people of color, a chance to succeed. And speaking of racism, Kamala, are you saying that people of color can't succeed right now? They don't have the ability to? Because we actually had a black president for 8 years. I mean, that's the pinnacle of success, in my opinion. But you're saying that you don't believe in them enough to think that they can. That's kind of racist, if you're asking me. I mean, the resistance. The resistance, everybody. How did you do? Did you cringe? Does any of this behavior make you cringe? Any of these dumb ideas make you cringe? Do you think it's going to change anything for the positive? Because if you did cringe, you win. That means your brain is working. Let me know how you did down in the comments. While you're down there, please like this video. Please help me get it recommended to others. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Education.
And you ain't black.
Idiots.